Red Dead Redemption 2, made by Rockstar Games, is an action-adventure game set in 1899 following the story of Arthur Morgan. This game is known for its stunning graphics and detailed world. It has a story in this game and multiple missions to complete. One of the missions is a Raids Unleashed. This mission is where Arthur Morgan assists the Wapiti Native Americans in their struggle against the army. They learn the army is planning to attack the Native Americans to force them off their land.
His people, my people. We've suffered too much, been lied to too much. Now they've taken our horses.
Who? The infantry division posted at Fort Wallace. Why?
Colonel Favors is a liar and a murderer. His people won't stop until we're all dead.
This mission highlights the mistreatment of indigenous people.
Tell me about this Colonel Favors.
He's a vile man. He and his regiment take pleasure in persecuting us. All the young have been taken from our reservation, shipped off to reform schools. Many women, too. The old are weak and sick, but they deliberately withhold medicine and supplies from us.
Indigenous people have been mistreated a lot, and an example of this is the residential schools in Canada. These schools not only shown racial discrimination against indigenous people, it also went against the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 1, that says all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights.
For much of the 20th century, more than 150,000 children from hundreds of indigenous communities across Canada were forcibly taken from their parents by the government and sent to what were called residential schools. Funded by the state and run by churches, they were designed to assimilate and Christianize indigenous children by ripping them from their parents, their culture, and their community. The children were often referred to as savages and forbidden from speaking their languages or practicing their traditions. Many were physically and sexually abused, and thousands of children never made it home.
From the late 19th century to the late 20th century, the Canadian government and Christian churches operated residential schools where indigenous children were taken from their families and communities.
This photo was taken of Native American children when they first arrived. This is them 4 months later. The school's motto was "Kill the Indian, save the man."
These children were forced to abandon their native languages and cultures and were often subjected to physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. The next clip you'll be seeing is about Leona Wolf, who was a Native American woman who was taken away from her family, as she talks about her past at these residential schools.
Leona Wolf, who comes from the Muskowgan Reserve, was 5 years old when she says she was taken from her home in 1960. School officials and police would often show up unannounced in indigenous communities and round up children, some as young as 3. Parents could be jailed if they refused to hand their children over. When kids arrived at their schools, their traditional long hair was shaved off. If they tried to speak their language, they were often punished.
They put me in a little dark room like that, and they'd shut the door, and then they'd take off the light. All I had to look through was this much light, like I was in jail.
She says the abuse many kids at Muskowgan suffered from the Catholic priests and nuns wasn't just physical.
The legacy of these schools have had a lasting negative impact on indigenous communities. Luckily, these schools have since been closed down, but racial discrimination is still a big problem in today's world.